Hey everyone, John David here. So this is going to be a full guide to the external monitor support on the iPadOS 16.2. Now, how to use it, the tips and tricks and all those things, all the quirks and the problems and the solutions, and some of them don't even have solutions. So definitely this video is going to be a really long video, but at the end of the day, this is going to be well worth it for you guys. So let's jump in. So the first thing that I'm going to do is let's connect the iPad to the monitor and see how much time it takes to boot up this whole monitor. So we will see. Now, here's the thing. You probably saw that I connected it and it is like on full screen monitor support, but I have some things to tell you. So first and foremost thing is that this by default won't be activated if you don't have mouse and keyboard connected. Now you're probably thinking what that does mean. Well, let me give you a small little example. So on the monitor, you can see that there is this display and brightness settings, and that's where you see the LG Ultra Game monitor. Now, if your monitor is not supported, that will not pop up over here. Now, once you connect it with any USB-C hub or anything like that, and then the only thing that you have to do is that go to arrangement. So I'm gonna tell you one secret, okay? So in the case of, let's say you don't have a keyboard or you don't have a mouse or a trackpad, let's say, most people will say that you're not gonna be able to have the whole, stage manager thing and this whole external monitor support, right? But they are actually wrong. The only thing that you have to do is that go to the display and brightness settings, click on the arrangement, and then turn off the mirror display mode. It will be automatically be turned on that time, but you can turn it off and the whole monitor support will be in front of you. I'm going to show you a B-roll of it because otherwise my voice recording would be cut off. So I'm not gonna do that. So this is how it is. The thing is that you're not gonna be able to control that because you can do it from the iPad screen, right? Easily. But what you're gonna do with the whole monitor support then? You probably be watching some YouTube videos and send it to the display and then let's start. I will tell you how to do every single thing, okay? Wait for me. But the problem is that you are not be able to control that. So if you have a mouse at the very least, like let's say your keyboard is broken, you can still have it. If you have a mouse and then you're just gonna connect the mouse any way you want, Bluetooth or any way, and then just use the mouse to do everything. And this is possible. You don't even need the keyboard. You can use the on-screen keyboard to type. So that's not a big problem. So the next thing is display scaling. Okay. So I'm going to come to the display scaling. So this monitor right here, we can see this one is a 2K 120 Hz monitor, but the iPad is only able to put 60 Hz. So the thing is you click on this monitor's LG name, whatever that is, and then click on the display zoom. That's where you're going to see two options. But for the 2K monitors, if you have a 1080p monitor, you're not gonna have this thing. Only have one option, and that is the larger text. You're not gonna have the default option at all. The default option is the scaled one. When you're on a 2K monitor, if you click on the larger text, it will be too big. Let me do it on over here, and if I click on it, it's too big. As you can see, it's just massive, and it's stupid. It's stupid to look at even. But this is the view that you're gonna get on a 1080p monitor. Okay, you are not even able to just do the you can change a little bit with this kind of apps, but this stubborn application, I will explain what is stubborn application and what you can do with them. But with this mode, you probably have very little option to do. Okay, but with the 2K monitor, that I will suggest at the very least. But it also comes in budget actually, so grab a 2K monitor and use this one, and then this one looks amazing. And the best part is that if you have a good monitor, the iPad scaling, I would probably say 0 to 100. If I have to rate, I would probably say like 100 out of 100. It scales amazingly well. This is insane. Now if you have 4K monitor that Apple suggests you, that's where you're gonna get another option that will be like larger text default and more space. The more space will actually allow you to have, because the default one on 4K will look like the larger text on a 2K monitor. But if you have problems with looking at the smaller text or so, then yeah, surely you're gonna click on the default variant. That's probably it. You can also arrange the iPad whatever you want. So let's say my iPad is below the monitor, but I'm putting it right at the right side of the monitor, like virtually. Why? There is a big reason behind it. It's because of the stage manager, but you can actually put the iPad right over here, like as it is. Like the only thing that it will do is that this mouse cursor, as you can see right here, it can go from this way to the iPad. Now it is on the iPad. Now I am not able to show you that thing, but if I show you this is where it is. You can just move it up and you can get it on the monitor. As you can see right over here, it's there. What if I say you that you actually don't really need to do that, because at the left side there are the stages that Apple says stages. I call it baskets. That is there. The bottom is for the dock. So if you, let's say, go to full screen, the dock will be hidden. That's why it's not easy to get the dock, because the moment you go to the bottom, the mouse cursor will go to the iPad. So that's not practical. So one thing you can do is that you can go in this corner and you can touch the mouse cursor with the, this kind of corner, the left or the right corner, and you can have the dock. But that's actually a clunky of an experience. So that's why I will say you to put the iPad on the right side, at least virtually, not you have to physically do that. So that what happens is that if you want to take this mouse cursor to the iPad, you have to do it from the right side where there is no other UI element, so you don't have problems. And if you want to click on the dock anytime, you just use the mouse cursor to just get the dock anytime you want. It's easy. And also one other thing that I will suggest you to do is that go to here, go to the home screen and multitasking, go to stage manager, and you will always have the stage manager on the external monitor. You can turn it off on the iPad. I will not suggest you to do that, because hey, just use the stage manager. It's much better than the stupid ass thing that the older thing had. But then if you go to external monitor, that's where you see the dock is enabled, but the recent apps or the stage is actually disabled. Because when you normally gonna use the iPad, the dock is really necessary, because you have certain apps that you want to click on, bam, you want to have it. You don't always want to just touch the edge with the mouse cursor and stuff like that. So don't do it. The recent apps, which you can allow it on the iPad, or also let me do it on the display as well, so you can be able to see. If I do it, it's right here, and you don't want that. You don't really want that. It's already having a very little amount of space, and you want to just put another UI element to it. Now you might be thinking, does it support dual monitor? Well, it does, but not the way you are thinking. So let me give a small example. When I connected the iPad with both of these monitors at the same time using a USB-C hub, third-party USB-C hub, you don't have to buy anything Thunderbolt port or Thunderbolt dock or something like that. No, don't even stress about those kind of things. I will tell you why. But when I did it, I actually saw both of them are doing the same thing. So that doesn't make sense. And on top of that, even if you have a high-end monitor, let's say a 2K monitor, 4K monitor, and a 1080p monitor, the whole 4K monitor or the 2K monitor will switch to 1080p. So that's unusable and it looks really ugly. So I will suggest you to stick with one monitor that makes sense. This portrait mode on the monitor is not supported. I'm just saying it, and it's stupid. One thing is that the stage manager feature actually works really good on the iPad. I will show you a B-roll of it so you will be better understanding that thing, how you can work. Like you can have a Safari and a Note at the same time. You can have a YouTube video playing pretty much in a way that you are never be able to do that on let's say an iPadOS 15 device or so. So it's actually pretty good. Like you can have certain kind of applications that are not even multitasking like friendly. You can have them as well. And this is pretty good. Now, talking about this unfriendly application, let me tell you about those applications. The first and foremost thing, the setting. The setting is actually one of those stubborn applications. Now I'm calling it an application, but there are applications that work identical to the settings. They take up the full screen. If you have ever used like what I'm saying, like a iPadOS 15 or so, you know that they take up the full screen and they don't budge. You can't do anything with it. You can't put them in a multi-window, something like that. But here on the stage manager with the external monitor support, you have certain other flexibilities that comes with it. But these are something good. Let me say you. So the setting is one of the stubborn application, and this is the files app. This is flexible. This always has been flexible, okay? But then there is also one type of app that is an iPhone app. But before jumping to the iPhone app and how you're going to customize, I'm going to say you how to add another window with this one, how easily you can do it. Well, you click on this 3-dot button, and there is 3-dot button is only because iPad is touch-based operating system, so your fat fingers won't be able to touch properly the traffic light. So that's why they don't have the macOS kind of system. That's why they have this one. Now there are a few options as you can see. Enter full screen, add another window, minimize and move to iPad, and close. The close is just close, minimize is minimizing it, and it is putting behind other apps. So minimize means like it's not going to be on your screen, but it is there. It is still working, okay? It's good, but it will be on another stage. They call it stages, but I just call it shelf or like baskets, let's call it. So it will put it another basket, okay? Now the next one is add another window. Now we're going to do that thing. And then there is enter full screen. So that's just making the full screen, but I will tell you about the full screen experience right after this one. So when you want to add another window, you're probably thinking, okay, fine, I can just add another window, means I can just drag one from here and just put it, right? Like, let's say I want to put Telegram here. Easy, right? That's simple it. And if you want to minimize that one, you just can go there and just click on the minimize. That's it. It is on another stage right over there. But then if you're thinking like, okay, fine, I can have 4 applications at once. That is another restriction, by the way. It is not having options for like 50 different applications. It's not. Samsung Dix is still better in that. I mean, in terms of multitasking, that is way too good. I have a video on the Samsung Dix. You can check out that one. Then if you click on the add another window, and then let's say you want to add Instagram and Twitter at the same time, but they are in a pair. What you're going to do, click on them, and they will be added with these two. So what happens is there that these two are actually were in pair, and these other two like setting and the files were in pair as well. Now you can both of them, you can pair those two pairs at the same time. That is actually cool. Now this is added with the few betas back. I got this support, but in the past betas it didn't have. I had no experience with this one. So let's come back to the stubborn application and flexible applications at the same time. Instagram application, iPhone application. This is stupid. So let me give you a small little example how they work. And in the case of this one, okay, fine. So these are the 3 different applications. So the Twitter is a flexible one. What you can do it with is like you can drag it from any corner, like this corner, that corner. You can see the cursor is changing its shape to make you feel like now you can do something else with it, right? So now let's say you want to jump like this way. You want to go as big as this, like full monitor, but you still want to have the dock. You can go, if you want a full screen, you can still go. And it's really weird to see these kind of things on iPad. But if you want to go this small, or you can go this, you want this tall, or you want probably this wide, or this wide. However you want, you can have it with the flexible application. But with the stubborn application like settings or some other apps like Dolby On, there are a few other applications as well, but I'm not naming every one of them. So like YouTube Studio is one of them, YouTube Music is one of them, for example. So in those cases, you're not gonna have that much of options, but you're still gonna have few. Let me give you a small little example. Let's say you can go to portrait mode if you want. So as you can see, the settings apps now is in portrait mode. You can go like wide mode as well, landscape mode. But if you want to get it bigger in size, how are you going to do it? So you're going to drag it from the corner, and once you do it, it will snap back to the smaller position. So there is no way to do it, but there is one way. I'm going to show you. What you're going to do is that be gentle with it, slowly do it, and hold it, and then leave the mouse cursor. It will go bigger. So now you have a bigger settings, and it's the same thing that applies to the portrait as well. You can go. No, you can't really go. No, it's not possible. Now let me give you a small little example with the iPhone application. This is another stubborn application, but you know that iPhone applications are usually smaller. So if you try to get bigger, then it will go smaller, and then there is no way you can go bigger anymore, right? But again, be gentle with it. iPad wants to be really touched gently, I guess. Now you can go to any position in between the biggest one and the smallest one. This way, be gentle with it. Leave it, it will be this big. If you want it even bigger, you can leave it this big. If you want to be maximum big, this is the maximum it can go. You can just drag it like this way and leave it. But once you try to do it faster, then that's the time it will snap back to the older position, and you're not gonna like that experience. So yeah, this was better in the iPadOS 16.1 beta, where it like the iPadOS 16 had the full monitor support, but now it's just a stupid one. But you have to deal with it because this is the final variant. You're not gonna have any other options. But have I seen any crashes? By the way, I have seen quite a lot of crashes, and I am totally disappointed by that. That Apple, having the macOS in their hand, they still can't figure out how to give a stage manager a full monitor support to an iPad. Come on, man, Apple is just too dumb in this kind of things. Microsoft is better, at the very least. If you're thinking that's the only kind of application, no, there is one another application. And let me give a small little example of it. This is the one shopping application, let's call it. This is the portrait mode stubborn app. So this one, if you open in iPadOS 15 or so, it will only go to a full screen, but in portrait mode. You can't have a landscape mode just like the settings or Dolby On or even YouTube Music and stuff like that. So you have no way you can go to any other position. There is no way. What you gonna do with it? Well, you can't really do anything with this in the stage manager. You can attach it with more windows. Let's say you want to add another window, and then you want to pair it with probably this application. Let's say this flexible application. You can, but you can't really do anything with it. this is stupid. Amazon is better than this application, but there are tons of applications like this. This is one prime example for me, but there are tons of applications that do the same thing. So that's another problem that you're gonna face. Now, a lot of you might be thinking how to go to the multitasking without like pressing any button or so, because you don't have the touch option on the screen, right? So what you're gonna do is that you see the cursor right over here. Just touch the edge of the display with the cursor, like really a little harder, kind of like you're swiping. Okay, so that's how you do it. And then you swipe like this way again. You do the same thing, like touch the edge of the display with the mouse cursor. You're gonna come to the multitasking window. It's as simple as that. Now you're probably thinking, whoa, that's actually good, but how I'm gonna see these applications right this side? Like there is way. Well, you can do with the mouse easily, but then there is another way, and that will actually help you in navigating in the iPadOS operating system in many places. So the shortcut is press the shift button and use the scroll wheel of the mouse. Now you can see, so you can do the swipe left to right using shift plus this mouse cursor wheel. Okay, a mouse scroll wheel, whatever that is. But what if you want to go to, let's say this is the application and you probably open this one, and what if you want to do it? What happened? Okay, so now let's say you want to go up and down. You can do it with the scroll wheel, easy. But what if you're gonna go, let's say you want to put it right here. How are you gonna do it? Use the shift button and then use the scroll wheel. As you can see, I'm pressing the shift key on my keyboard and then doing this thing. So you can go left to right. And if you want to go up and down, you can do it with the scroll wheel. Just you leave the shift alone. So now how are you gonna zoom in and out? Like, is there any shortcut? Well, this is actually one thing that I just want to tell you, that this is not universal, by the way. Like, even though the iPadOS has the support, but maybe it had in the past as well, but we never needed to use it because iPad had only mirror mode. So we had the hands to do the zoom in and out, like pinch to zoom in, zoom out. But now we don't have the option on the full screen. So what you're going to do is that you're going to press the command button, the CMD, and then you're going to press the plus button to zoom in and minus button to zoom out on your keyboard. You can do it with the keyboard. Now, this is something that you have probably seen with LumaFusion. Yes, that app was revolutionary at its time. In the past, now not. Like the resolve is coming, so yeah, you get the point. But this thing actually works on every single iPad. I mean, sorry, every single app. I mean, it should, but it doesn't, because that's how the developers are. Like, developers haven't enabled this thing like in the whole iPadOS. So some apps do support, some apps don't. So this is a free app. You can check out this one. This is called Vectornator. This is a fantastic application, great drawing app. But this has the support. As you can see, like CMD with plus or minus, you can zoom in and out, and you just shift and scroll wheel to do anything that you want. But what about Procreate? Can you do that with that? Well, Procreate is still not supported. Oh yeah, this is something that you can see it crashed. So now I'm gonna unlock it. So yeah, it did unlock, and it's still recording the voice, by the way. So the voice recording is still there. I'm gonna stop the voice recording once, and the iPadOS still has bugs. Hopefully with few more updates they will fix it, but I just don't know. Like, Apple is still stupid in this game. But hopefully when you're gonna, like, I'm doing it with the RC build, so maybe RC build has this kind of bugs, and like the crashing bug, I've seen it already, so I made a video on that. But if the final variant is gonna have this thing too, I'm gonna be disappointed. But by the time you're watching this video, you probably have the final build, so you can check out of your own. So I don't have to tell you. But hopefully that will be fixed. But if not, it will be crazy stupid. Hey, come on, man, do it. Just okay, fine. It sometimes does. Globe F is for the full screen. Now you can just change the, if you have a third-party keyboard, you don't have a globe keyboard, then you can go to settings and just change it to something like any hardware keyboard. You can assign it for globe key, so it can be like caps lock in my case. So now, is it possible for you to move this one? Well, no, exactly not at all. You can't really do anything with it, and neither the zoom thing works on it. It's just stupid. I don't know. It's just stupid. And now it crashing again. It is live thing, you can say it. So now moving on from the Procreate and the crashes, now you're probably thinking how to do the switching between the stages. Now you can do it with mouse, but how to do it with keyboard? So the globe button and arrow button with like the left and right arrow, you can switch between these application pairs. Now if you want to go to multitasking, you can do it with the up arrow and the globe button. You can do it, so you have the option. Okay, and you want to go back to the first open application, you can easily do it with the globe up arrow. Just that's the thing that takes you to the multitasking and takes you back to the application from the multitasking window. So that's how it works. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, well, you can run 2 audio channels at the same time. Well, that isn't possible. So with iPadOS, it is still stupid that you can't really have 2 applications that are running. Let's say you want to have LumaFusion at the same time. You probably want to watch a YouTube video over here. If you click on this one while editing, all of them will stop. So only one thing you can do. At the same time, let's say I'm recording a voice. The voice recording will also stop. And that is hella stupid. Apple can't still figure things out. Come on, man. Good luck module on Samsung Galaxy Dex can do that thing. Why not in Apple? I mean, just crazy. We don't have individual control that you can do on the Samsung Galaxy Dex. You don't have that option either. Like, you can't control the volume of each and every app, whatever app playing. Let's say like the YouTube Music and LumaFusion. Do I have the control over all the volume of these apps? No, I don't have it. I can't play all of them together either on the iPadOS. Why? I want to watch a YouTube video at the same time, edit a video, and just play a lo-fi music at the background with a little bit of sound. I want that. Not possible on the iPad. It is still stupidly iPad. It is still not computer. It's a computer replacement, nothing else. Now the same thing can be also said about the FaceTime. If I open the FaceTime application, and yes, if you're thinking, you can press the Alt and Shift and a spacebar to get the what do they call, spotlight, but you can't really have the spotlight with like that many suggested applications that you can get on the iPad. You can't really get it. You just only get the bare bones spotlight, but you can use it for searching things like FaceTime in this case. So I'm going to open the FaceTime over here, and I can't really call anyone because the one problem is that I'm recording the voice on the iPad, so it will stop the recording on that. But you can see my hand, I'm just moving. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing you have to deal with, because this is only working with the iPad's display. I'm just gonna show my, you get the point. I'm not gonna say anything. So that's actually stupid. It's still stupid. You don't have any other options. Like, you can't connect another external things to get anything. Like, you really don't have that option. You can't really have, like a secondary camera to get the visual. No way. Now there is one experiment that I am gonna do right now. That is this. So I'm gonna send one file to Telegram in front of you guys. At the same time, I'm gonna export one video, and this is right over here. So I'm gonna export a video. I'm gonna send one video. And then I'm gonna move one of them to the background and see whether that stops or not. So I'm gonna do with let's say this one probably, and I'm gonna send it, and then I'm also gonna export one file. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do this. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to minimize this one, and I'm going to minimize this one as well. But there are going to be 2 different, baskets. So now I'm opening up files, and I'm probably looking at YouTube icon for bizarre reason. And then I'm looking at here and there, just doing nothing. And I probably want to see like, hey, is the Telegram is still sending the file? Let me see. Is it? Yeah, it is still sending the file. So what about the LumaFusion? Is it doing anything? Well, it is. It's still doing it. But does that stopping, like, is it stopping when I'm like doing anything? Is it pausing? I'm going to see it in front of you guys. So I'm sending some file, and then I'm going to go close this one. I'm doing something else. Like, I'm recording currently a voice. So yes, the voice is still recording. And then I'm going to jump back to the Telegram. I'm just going to see like whether it's doing it or not. Well, it's still uploading the file. And then I'm going to see the thing. Well, it's exporting. So yeah, the background tasks work this way, but there is one big con with it. Once you start to play a music, let's say you start to play YouTube music, it will actually pause the recording on it. At the same time, it will do crash all of them. That's stupid. But if you don't record a voice, let's say I'm currently recording, but if I wouldn't have been recording at this time, I'm playing like YouTube music over here, or just playing in the background, and then I'm exporting the video, I'm putting it in the background, I'm uploading a file to Telegram, I'm just doing something else, I'm downloading something from Safari as well. I can do all of the stops at the same time. And this wasn't possible with the iPadOS 15, but with the iPadOS 16.1 or .2, it is possible. Now with monitor support, you can do it even more. So I'm going to cancel this one, but probably let it run. Okay. It doesn't matter. I've never felt like there is mine one is an 8 GB of RAM, so I never felt like I'm losing out anything. Okay, so whenever I touched on any application, like I've opened it like a long time back, but it's still open. Okay, the same thing is I can say about, let's say I'm doing it for another application. I've opened it, this one, it's still open, but even though it refreshed, but sometimes it does refresh some of the apps that are not really necessary. But as you can see, most of the things are still there. It's good. Like with the 8 GB of RAM is getting fully utilized. And the best part is that Safari is actually utilizing the 8 GB of RAM support even more than you might think. It is doing an amazing job. I love the Safari of the new iPadOS, like fantastic one. Let me jump to the YouTube. Is it still there? Yeah, it's still there. Like there are already applications running on the iPad. There are tons of applications in the background on the iPad already. And then on top of everything else, you still have the full monitor to do everything. So that's actually pretty good. As you can see, like there are tons of things you are still doing it, you are able to do that you can't really do with iPadOS 16.1 or even the iPadOS 15. That's not only it. Let's say I was over here. Yeah, it is still there. Everything is there. And also at the same time, I have tried with a third-party app to see like whether I can see how much RAM is getting consumed. Well, what I saw is that even though the 8 GB RAM is getting consumed easily, but the thing is, at least that's what the third-party app is showing. It's called usage, the app is. But the one thing was that, like, let me give you the example right in front of you guys. It's called usage. And yeah, you can open the app library like this way. You can click on it and you can just use the mouse scroll wheel just to scroll up and down. It can do all those stuff, okay? So if I forgot to tell you that, that's the thing. You can click on it to open it. Now, it still doesn't allow you, let's say you have app and you click on the Safari, it will go to Safari, but it will not open the Safari in this window. That's still not capability of an iPadOS. It's still stupid. You have to drag it to get it to the multitasking like this way to get it to in a multi-window. You can't just click on it and to do this. You can visit my website, johndavid.com. You're going to get free wallpapers like this one that you can see already, like this one. Yeah, that's good. Now, coming back to this one. So that's why you can see that, yeah, this is where you can see there is, how much memory is free? It's only 200 MB is free. And so I've already consumed everything. But is that means like I'm losing out on anything? No. Sometimes when I try to open another window, let's say another thing, already the LumaFusion is doing the background work. So let's check out on the, LumaFusion. Is it done exporting that file? Yeah, it did. No, it didn't. Oh, no, hell no, it didn't. What can you expect from iPadOS? But what about the Telegram? Is it doing it? Well, I don't think so. No, that didn't. That crashed too. So it is a simple thing. So once they are in the stages, that's pretty much clear. Once they are in the stages at the sides or the baskets, and you are doing only few steps, you're not too much consuming the RAM, then all these things will still do their job. But once you try to do something really too much, that's where you can't trust the iPadOS. So it's still nowhere close to the computers. And that's disappointing. I can't really say that word, but I would have said the F word to Apple at this point, because they have the macOS, the full-fledged desktop. Why not put the macOS underneath the iPad skin and just give us all the things? I need that. Come on, man. I mean, if you don't have them on the stages and you are doing too much of stuff and it is consuming the RAM, bam, it's getting closed. Even though they have the swap memory function enabled on the M1 iPad. So M1 chip, 8 GB of RAM, but it is still not capable. An iPad is not capable of doing it. Come on, man. That's just stupid. Now, one of the problems that you're going to see is that the right click is actually not universal. Now, it is universal in certain places. Let's say right over here, or probably I'm going to click on this one, or probably this one. This is a good news on the iPhone 15. You can check out that one. So if I click on this one, is it showing anything? No. Is it? No. But rather, like click and hold will actually work like a right click in most cases. Now, in certain cases like this one, as I say, like this one, as you can see, like this one is actually able to do click on the right click and do the stuff. But in most applications that will not work. So in certain cases, it will not even work at all. So yeah, it is kind of like here and there kind of thing. It's certain times it does work, certain times it doesn't work at all. Now, one other thing that I want to tell is that wherever it works best. I think Safari is one of the prime examples where Apple has really improved the usability of it. Now, as you can see, it's still buggy a little bit, but hey, it's fine. Now, as you can see, like I can use all the shortcuts with the keyboard and it still does work well. But the best part is that I am able to do whole editing on my website that I needed a computer for on the iPad, which I wasn't able to do in the past because of the touchscreen issues with the Safari app. Now, because the Safari actually properly support the cursor, it does the job. Now, next application that you probably are not expecting, but you're probably gonna see all these things, UI elements. So of this one, let's say I'm clicking on this text, and you probably want this to be bigger. How are you gonna do it? Well, you click on the size and there is plus button, but that's really slow. With the touch, it is not. So you know that scroll bar, but it doesn't work with the mouse clicking. No way, it doesn't work. So what you're gonna do is that you place your mouse cursor on it and then use the shift and scroll wheel button to do the job. It's hella good. It's faster than you might think. So this is now a good thing that iPads can do. And this is going to be useful in a variety of scenarios like this one. Let's say you want to rotate this one. This is scroll wheel that you can easily use with the fingers, but not with the keyboard and mouse. In the past, you had the option to click on it and it just move the mouse like this way to do it. But now it doesn't work. So now if I do it, it doesn't work. So the only way to do it is that press the shift button and do use this one like this is. Shift button and the scroll wheel do it. So in a variety of scenarios, in variety of UI elements, you're gonna see this thing, and you're probably thinking like, oh, will I face this thing? Well, hell yeah. So you want to edit the YouTube logo, and you click on the edit button, and you want to up the brightness. You can do it with the scroll wheel, right? Easily. You just don't have to press anything. But what if you do it with this way? So now you have the sliding option left to right. How are you gonna do it? Shift and scroll wheel. Easy, breezy, lemon squeezy. You can just do it. Simple. So you're gonna face all these things in the iPadOS, but there are tons of ways you can do it. Now, one other thing that you probably don't know is that you can actually drag one window from the iPad, from the monitor to the iPad like this way. It's easy. Now you probably can't see, but I'm gonna show you right here. As you can see, this is over here, but if I drag it to the monitor, as you can see right here, here's the iPad Safari over here. I can just leave it right here, or I can just drag it from here to here. You can see, so that is possible. Now if you're thinking, how was that possible? Well, it was actually there since the iPadOS 16.1. Many YouTubers don't really know because they don't use them. I mean, they have MacBooks, so they don't really care. So that's a thing. I'm not a Mac guy. I'm a PC guy mostly, but I also love iPads. Bizarre reason. Now there is one other thing you probably want to know, like how can you have two Safari windows or two notes application? Like there are some applications that supports that. How are you gonna have it? So there is a clunky way to do it. One, you can drag another window from it. It's easy. But then if you want to do it, you can click on, then the other way is that you can click on the Safari icon itself, click on the Safari icon, and then you can click on the plus, and that's it. Now, let's say you want to click on a thing, like you want to type something. How are you going to do it? Well, you have this button. This is a floating window, as you can see, like you can move it anywhere, not anywhere, but left or the right, not here outside, but inside the app. And you can click on this one. You can click on the show keyboard. Sometimes it will pop up, sometimes it won't, like show emoji, and you can click on any emojis if you want. So that's a possibility. Sometimes it will show the keyboard option, like you can show your keyboard. You can change the keyboards right from here. You will be able to do it. So if you don't have keyboards connected, you will be able to use this feature to get the keyboard. You're getting the point, right? Now the next one is iPadOS screenshot. Now, how you're gonna do it? So there is two ways to do it. One is you can use Siri shortcut to do it. As you can see, like it will show two screenshots at the same time. You will have one screenshot of the monitor, one of the iPad. You can delete this one if you don't want this one. You probably want this one. And if you want to do anything customization wise, yeah, you can do all those stuff. Like, so let me give you a small little example how big of an size of a screenshot is now. This one. So this is the photo that is the screenshot that is captured from the whole monitor. So if you go to the info button, you can probably see it's 8.1 MB. It's a 14 megapixel resolution frame. Now I have seen one image going to even 19 MB. So on an average, you're probably gonna see 8 to 10 MB worth of like one screenshot. So it's actually pretty heavy. In the past, it was not the case. In the case of iPad screenshot, it is still also big because of the scaling, because you have turned on the scaling on the iPad. That's why you have the high resolution. Now it's also 7 megabytes. It's insane. It's a 5 megapixel photo though, but normally the screenshot used to be like 1 or 2 MBs. Now you have like 5 MB for the iPad and 14 MB, 20 MBs for this monitors one. This is crazy. But as you can see, like you can have the screenshot like this way. But what if you do screen recording? Well, you can actually do screen recording, but that won't record the screen of the monitor. It will only do from the iPad. I don't know why, but that's what it is. It's just stupid at this point. I'm just not gonna say it again. Like it can do 2 recordings at once, but it won't. It will just only do 1 recording of the iPad, and your monitor might just go to mirror mode, or might just stick to this mode and do nothing. So it is like a finicky thing, but it sometimes works like this, but sometimes it doesn't. Now there is one other thing that I want to tell you is that you can't really access the notification center or the control center from on the screen in any shape or form. Like you can click on this one, the notification center will actually pop up on the iPad, and once the notification center is on the iPad, the whole monitor screen will just only show the wallpaper. It will not allow you to do anything. Sometimes it does. Sometimes, let's say you have a Safari window open and you probably clicked on you went within notification. As you can see, like it will just going to show you the full, just this whole wallpaper, nothing else. So that's the thing. The same thing goes for the control center. You can't really control it from here. Sometimes it pops up, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why, but it doesn't. Now, in terms of authentication, if you have like somewhere you're signing in with the Face ID, everything will pop up over here. You don't have to worry about that. That's actually good. But this face will be scanned from the iPad, so you have to bend down a little bit depending on how you have positioned the iPad. But yeah, that's the case. But you will be able to see the passwords like you can't really do with the mirror mode. You can actually be able to do it over here. Like you will be able to see the passwords and everything. Even with the Face ID authentication, you will still be able to see them. That's actually good. I'm not gonna be able to demo that thing because hey, it's security thing. But some people also is connected like the Samsung Arc monitor, or even the big massive 49-inch ultra wide monitors, even like taller LG dual Ergo monitors. iPadOS actually scales pretty well. But that was the beta, but now it is the stable bin, so it will definitely work on them. So in terms of iPads, only the M1 and M2 iPads are getting the Stage Manager with external display support, and the Stage Manager is already there on the A12Z iPad and A12X iPad. But why they don't have a Stage Manager support with monitor? Like you can't really have any other things. You have Stage Manager option only on the iPad. On the monitor. On the iPad, you can go to the normal. The iPad has 15 multitasking. If you don't like the Stage Manager, you can turn off the Stage Manager on the iPad. You can go use the normal standard multitasking, like the 2 apps at the sides, the middle bar, and the stuff like that. And also the slide over thing, everything is working, okay? But if you want the Stage Manager, I want you to use Stage Manager too. It is much more helpful when you're on portrait mode, because that's why it looks real good. It's much more useful than it ever was. I don't know why Apple thought like having 2 small little tall applications was good on portrait iPads. I don't know. Anyway, also, I forgot to mention you that you can easily copy and paste stuff from here. Like to say, I want to copy this one easily. I just can click on it and like drag it right over here. And yeah, you have the option. So if you're thinking the drag and drop thing, this one works on the Stage Manager pretty easily. It is just a cool little thing. You can visit my website for a lot more great news. I mean, why not? Now, as I was saying in the video that I have to explain you guys like why the 2020 iPad Pro and the 2018 iPad Pros are not getting this, the full monitor support and the Stage Manager experience on it. Well, it's the USB-C port, and that's the one big reason why it is not getting it. Now the A12X and the A12Z chip is actually plenty capable of doing it. The A12Z chip and the AM series chips are not that different as you think. The fabrication process is different, the cores might be different, the CPU capabilities are, GPU capabilities are more, but that doesn't mean it is a totally different architecture. It's still the ARM-based silicons. So after all, it is still possible for Apple to provide the 2020 iPad Pro's owner at the very least monitor support, if not the 2018 one. And why I'm saying this thing, you need to check out my recent video on that. I've explained all the technical things. I'm not going to do it in this video. I don't want to make it longer than this one. I hope you like this whole video and the explanation and everything else, the tips and tricks and everything. It is a long video, I know. It's a massive video. That's probably it. You can just visit my website for free wallpapers like that one and many more, watch faces and so many more. So yeah, you can visit that one, tech news, everything. It will just make me happy a little bit. I will get support from you. So yeah, that's about it. If you want to see more episodes like this, then definitely do like this video and do subscribe this channel. Also, visit my website, joindavid.com, link down below. It's for everything. You're gonna get all these and more techniques way faster than these videos. So definitely visit it. You can also find a lot of 8K wallpapers over there. So why not? Just visit it. Until the next episode, bye and take care.